Girls, let's be more feminine this summer. Yet another video by Brad Coomer. Holy damn, she actually has 4.13 million already. Now, I am so happy she did this video. Summer's coming. It's a chill topic that I can react. It's hyped, which means you all have probably seen it. My comments will probably only add up to this, but not really rude. Let's just talk about a nice, happy, atmospheric video. Without any more additional comments, I will dive into the reaction.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. So I think you guys probably know that I have been a tomboy for most of my life. But as I've gotten older, I have intentionally been trying to tap into my feminine side. And if
Wait, who's a tomboy? Like as you all know, these are my streams. So here we learn new words. All right. All right. With masculine traits. Okay. I'll actually write it down to my dictionary. I have an English dictionary. This is true. What thoughts actually cross our minds when we're 14, 15? I remember I wanted to get a tattoo when I was 14 and I drew my whole hand. Now I can't honestly imagine this happening. Oh wait, I'm sharing the wrong tab.
that's why I chose to hang out with guys for basically my entire childhood. Call me a pick-me if you want. That was just my experience. Now, fast forward to now, a lot has changed. And over the years, I finally realized that my inherent femininity as a woman is a gift. And it is something that I should not be totally rejecting as I did in my teen years. And among my group of girlfriends, we have all been trying to find ways to lean into that because we all think it's really important, including the way we dress. And I found this to be an interesting experiment for me personally because it is so opposite of what I used to do. And it made me wonder if this could be part of a larger conversation that is happening online. And
Have you noticed how fast she talks? I mean, jokes aside, she might be some long lost relative of Ben Shapiro. Like, she actually talks fast as well.
turns out it is. Before we dive into that though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not already, and then ring.
Yeah, obviously, subscribe to zynovii7. We got our milestone of 125 subs. Now we want to get 150.
That notification bell so that you never miss an episode. All right, so we have touched on this a bit here and there, but in general, women are burned out. The boss babe, I don't need a man, I'm cold and tough and jaded mindset, it is just not cutting it for us anymore. It literally is not inherent for women, and I think that we are all waking up and realizing that this is a lie that we do not want to live in anymore. For instance, take this creator.
So I am starting my journey to be more feminine, and that for me means not wearing sweats and hoodies every day.
And then she paused this.
Being feminine isn't only appearance based, but I think doing these things will help too. I'm actually curious to read the haters' comments. You know why? Because I like to defend this side, but I'm going to shout out to Professor Dylan Johnson, very great professor. If he ever teaches you a philosophy or economy course, you can actually take it because the guy did a very good job. And the quote that he gave me was the next one. In order to defend one point, you need to know how you will defend the opposite. I can't even quote him decently, but the point is that I want to read the comments, the hating comments, so that I could understand what is wrong about this. Like, because I genuinely believe this is the right course of thinking and acting. I just want to know where this is probably not going the correct way.
And she said being feminine isn't only appearance based, but I think that doing these things will help too, which I completely agree about. We're going to touch on that later. But I do think focusing on your appearance and the way that you dress, that is an easy thing to do. It's a great first step. So that's probably why she's talking about it.
I literally don't feel pretty in like skirts, dresses, like stuff like that. And that's again just how I'm perceiving myself because I've had to be so masculine for so long to just survive and to get to where I am.
And I know that there will be people online that will say, oh, that's just ridiculous. Like, she should have just leaned on a man. But as somebody who grew up in a very turbulent household and had a very unconventional childhood where I was moved around a lot and, there was a lot of back and forth, you do become hardened. And as you become hardened, you do become more masculine. You put your walls up. You are not as emotional. I did have that mentality that was like, I don't need anybody else. I don't want anybody else around me, because usually when I have other people around me, they screw things up and they make my life harder. Like, that was how I lived my life. And then on top of that, I only saw those two examples of femininity. I did not think that there was a middle ground that I could be in. So
Yeah, that is actually a very important topic that she tackles, because even nowadays, if you look around the world, and we're not only talking about uh, very improved countries, so to say, we can talk even to middle class, especially lower class, where the woman has to take the role of a man a lot of the times because of variety of reasons. No, some got left by another man and they need to be the leading person in their own household. Some of them just never felt probably how it's like to lean on someone, which is an important topic to discuss, maybe even more important than how do women become more feminine, is why do they go against it in the first place, like how why do they widen away from it in the first place.
I completely understand where she's coming from.
I'm doing things like that. I'm doing more self-care things. I'm trying to actually put effort into my appearance and my skincare and things. And try dating again and try breaking down the barriers of that hyper masculinity that's in me that I've had for so long.
You see, this is the thing that I also have, like, femininity doesn't mean weak. Even when she's talking about skincare, like, do you know how many women actually spend on their skin? And I'm not even talking about money, I'm talking about time, about their thoughts. Like, that is a whole serious process that is super complicated. It's a whole work that has to be done from A to Z so that she could look beautiful as she can, as magnificent as she can. And I feel like also one of the reasons why women gave up in the past a lot on this is because they thought that men don't care. But men actually fall, like, not that the men don't care, but men don't appreciate, which is partly right. They don't think how hard this process is. But it's not about, you shouldn't give up on trying to look good, but you should actually make men like respect and appreciate the fact that women spend so much time and effort on looking as magnificent as they can.
It's hard to describe other than I don't feel like a woman.
Be careful saying that in 2024. Be careful. You don't know who's going to latch on and tell you something else. Anyway, that's just
That's a
besides the
joke.
point.
That's
But
a nice
I
joke.
loved this video. It was very genuine. It felt very vulnerable, and it went viral very quickly. Somebody commented and said, I'm redoing my wardrobe for this exact reason. Somebody else said, birth control. When I was on birth control, I felt so masculine, went on a non-hormonal and feel so womanly, could literally feel the change in me. If you can, try to go on non-hormonal if it's safe for you. This is a perfect time to plug the episode I did about birth control after WAPO wrote an article about me, so we can link that below if you want. Somebody else commented and said, when you find the right man, woman, you will naturally fall into your feminine energy. I completely agree with that. I think
I'm actually curious for a man. Like, I've seen a lot of examples where this works for a woman, but are there examples where it works with a man? That the man runs into his right woman, that the man runs into his right woman, and together they become, and his masculine sides opens even more. I'm curious to see videos about that as well.
when you find a man that is strong and is masculine and is there to help take care of you and protect you, oh my gosh, you just get to relax. It's the most fantastic, amazing thing ever. Somebody else said it's not just you. So many of us are trying to move out of our masculine, and it really is a journey. It takes time to unlearn habits and feel feminine. You get there. And boy, does it take time. Guys, it took years for me. Like, I literally remember the first time that I showed up to hang out with my high school best friend wearing a dress. She about fell out of her chair. We were at Priscilla's Coffee in Burbank. We're about to go to LA actually, and I'm going to take my team there. This was like an important place in my teen years because she was like, "What are you wearing?" That is how much of a mark it made because I hated wearing dresses, hated how it made me feel, hated how I felt like I was presenting myself to the world. Anyway, like I said, the video went viral and it makes sense because so many girls are relating to this, myself very much included. And after the original video went viral, she came back and she made another one talking more about what she was doing.
I'm going to be doing this series of like my journey to embracing my femininity and being a woman and being a girly pop
That's
because
a great way to
yeah, taking
hype.
on this hyper masculine role. No
Like, not saying that she's only doing this for the hype, but it's about monetizing the things that you can, and I mean, she's doing a good thing for herself and at the same in the same time earning from it.
longer serves me in a positive way. Like I don't want to be one of the boys anymore. I don't want to be so overly independent and like shut men out.
That might sound confusing, but I think that was actually very self-aware, where she was saying, I don't want to be one of the boys anymore, but I also want to stop shutting men out because in my experience, I wanted to be one of the guys. I just wanted to be friends with guys, but I did not want them to look at me in any way other than just being one of the guys. It was hard to, break down those walls and go, okay, well, I'm straight. I'm getting to the point where I want to date. I need to be comfortable with a guy looking at me like that and perceiving it's just so it feels so weird. And you might be saying, Brett, this is a really weird dichotomy.
Oh wait, she now got married. We can even see the ring.
Talk to a woman, I'm sure it exists in her head if she's been here.
I want to be a girly pop again is the only way that I can basically word it. And so my first step is I'm going to be doing research and trying to take notes from other women who have already gone through this journey.
Now, this girl's name is Essie Bone if you want to see what she's been doing on this series.
588,000. Out of curiosity, this video was 10 days ago, right? Give me a sec. $590,000. Okay, not that many. I thought it's gonna be more.
Sexualized or infantilized, a lot of us neglect.
Sorry, you didn't see the number. The previous number was 588. So not that big of a popularity from Brad.
Somebody commented and said, I think in an effort to avoid being sexualized or infanticized, a lot of us neglected feminine things and now feel uncomfortable being womanly. And that
I think that is a lot of the problem with any choices that people take in their lives, that they can't find the common ground, the common balance. They're either going too hard on something or they're not going at all on it, going too low, putting way too little effort. And yeah, actually this is one of the goals in life, to find the perfect balance in your everyday things.
was literally me. Like, that is what I said at the beginning in that introduction. Like, it took a come to Jesus conversation with me and my mom when I was about 16 years old. We were in the car. I remember we were coming over the hill. I know exactly where all these conversations were because they just stick in my mind. Like, that, again, I can't even describe it. Like, that is how stark of a transition this has been in my life. But I remember sitting there with her, and it took that conversation for me to start thinking differently about all of this because I felt constantly sexualized in Hollywood. I was surrounded by girls who made that their whole identity and their personality, and they loved that and they leaned into that, and I wanted to be anything but that. I hated it. I was so uncomfortable, and I did not see a way that I could merge the two without becoming an object and losing all the things that I thought were great about myself. And it's
Even she had this problem, and she's grown pretty well, so there's always hope, people.
took a long time to figure out that I could do that. I'm still figuring it out every single day. Somebody commented and said, I want to wear more color, frilly things, and lace to feel like a girl again. Yep, there we go. And there are some comments that were interesting, like some of the language around your feminine and your masculine energy range into being kind of annoying and a bit of a woo-woo witchy vibe. Obviously, I'm personally not into that. We can stop calling it our divine feminine. We do not need to connect this to Mother Earth and your crystals. It is just called being feminine. Tapping into your roots as a woman, what women have been doing since the dawn of time. But anyway, the point is, in my opinion, is that we're just bringing things back to the basics. And in a lot of these videos, one of the first things that women say is that they want to start dressing feminine again, aka wearing dresses, which honestly, when you
Because AKA, it all starts from the looks. It's always outside looks, inner thoughts, inner communication. this triangle, so to say. Not even triangle, I would say 3-step pyramid.
When you compare the comfort level of a pair of like high-waisted skinny jeans to a dress, the dress wins every single time. Like some of the pants that we wear were not even designed to be satin, which literally makes no sense. That's why if you've watched my videos and I say, oh, I'm wearing standing pants today or I'm wearing sitting pants today, that's a chick thing. That's what I mean. And apparently that is also harmful for our reproductive systems. We can get into that another time. Another reason to be wearing dresses. I'm not setting a good example today, but you get the point. Back to it. Women are obviously seeing dresses as their way to dip their toe into femininity. And it's not just women who are excited about this. Men apparently want this as well. Specifically,
obviously, we don't want another man in our family. Give us a nice, great woman. If we want a man, that means we are gay. Which means if we are gay, we go find another man. We don't need a woman, and we don't need a man in a woman's body. Maybe someone does. Exceptions always exist. But the majority doesn't. That's the point.
men want sundresses. It seems like every spring and every summer they
Have you ever seen, like, okay, I actually have a couple ideas what can be hotter, but women in sundresses, they look amazing. And you can like compare to what they wear even in the summer. But come on, the summer dresses. That's like classic. You can see an actual classy woman walking by you, walking next to you, walking by you, no matter where she is. That's something to think about.
beg for the return of sundresses. They celebrate sundress season. Just watch these videos. So we said, men, it's sundress season again. He's ready. He is ready for the season. Here's another one. This is from Brianna Chicken Fry. I actually saw this just.
Actually, this depends how you track. If I were from another side, which I'm not, I could potentially discreditate this TikTok as sexualizing women. But that was if I was from another side, which I'm not from.
Last week, and it killed me. And she's spot on, because this is how a lot of the guys sound. And no hate at all. Like, I support the men. I'm in support of the sundresses, but it is very funny.
If I see one more video where the guys on the street are asking other guys on the street, what's your favorite thing to see a girl in? What's your favorite hairstyle for a girl? And all the guys are like, I like her in a sundress. I want her to wake up and put on her, I want her to roll out of bed in her sundress, and I want her to.
I'm gonna say, I actually have a suggestion what is even cooler. Have you ever seen a girl in a football or basketball jersey? Like, that is just peak beauty. I'm not gonna lie. Especially in your favorite teams. So I'm not gonna lie, I had never heard about these sort of videos. I never even seen them.
Look like Chad, no makeup on. I'm gonna lose it.
She's not wrong, though. They are literally everywhere. The men are begging. Spring has sprung. The birds are chirping. The men are crawling out of their apartments. Where are the sundresses? And the comments from the guys just support all of this. Christopher said, definitely a sundress. Somebody else said, sundress is the best thing. And this guy, Gage, said, sundress or rompers, no makeup. So obviously, it has gotten women's attention. We are listening, men, we know. Somebody posted this on Twitter and said, supposedly the fastest way to get a guy to fall in love with you is wearing a milkmaid dress. Can anyone confirm? And this is basically a sundress. And immediately, there were thousands of men in the comments confirming this theory. One guy said, depends, but yes, women should dress feminine if they want to attract a man. Somebody said, if I saw a modern gal wearing one of these today, I would get down on one knee. Another guy said, can confirm, the charm of old beauty standards is unmatched. There we go.
I'm just gonna say they're right. That is literally all I'm gonna say.
Like, old beauty standards are coming back. I love it. Another guy said this and sundresses. I'm telling you, the sundresses, they are on their knees begging. It's a strange phenomenon. Now, I tried to do some serious journalisming, as Jack Mack would say, some serious journalistic research into why men love sundresses so much, and I stumbled upon this. And other than just making me laugh, it seemed to sum up this phenomenon in a nutshell.
Gentlemen, can you please explain to me what it is about the sundresses that you like so much?
Oh.
Hey, I even saw this guy somewhere. I don't remember exactly, but I did see him.
Allow me to regale you by asking you some questions. What is it about that first sip of water after a day spent in the scorching sun that you love so much? Seeing the yams in such a beautiful and vulnerable state is a reminder to us that although hell is upon us, the heavens still take their time to shine and smile upon our lowly lives and remind us that life is very good.
I mean, it's
This is a hilarious guy. I mean, he was 100% right. He is 100% correct.
Are you crying? You're just like him. You love sundresses. It's cinematic. I mean, I don't think I need to say anything else. I think I could end the episode right here, but I won't because I have more to say. When does Brett ever not have something else to say? Anyway, he captioned it, "The Sundress Cures Seasonal Depression." And there we go. We have it. That is it summed up. Now, I dug a little bit deeper because I didn't want to just do that one video. And I found a Reddit post from 9 years ago where men were asked the same question and the responses were just gold. And so the question was just, why do men like sundresses? And one guy said, they're very feminine. Straight to the point. Another guy replied and said,
That's true.
they also have a great fun summer feel to them. Just good, happy thoughts all around, especially up here in Canada where winters are so damn cold and everyone bundles up. Pretty girls in sundresses just make life a little better. Can confirm. I asked my husband why he likes sundresses and he said that he loves them because they're happy. He's a man of few words. They're happy. Now I know. Men are simple creatures. They want women to bring joy and brightness. They do not want to have pent-up feminist female rage clothed in a trash bag, which if you go to LA, that is basically what you see. Come on. Another reply said, feminine and they make women move graciously with a natural charm and class. I love that. Like, some things never change. This is what men like, and as women are consciously trying to unlearn what they have been taught and conditioned to do and wear, they are starting to like it too, and I think that is good for all of us. And while sundresses and appearances and clothing might seem like a superficial thing, like we're just scratching the surface here, I think it's fun, and I think it's indicative of a more significant change that is happening under the surface, and that is what I love to see.
Straight up correct and to the point. I would say, since we always need to have a lesson from each video, that the moral of this lesson is you get to choose. If you're a woman, and if you're a man, it's the same. You get to choose whatever you like to do. However you like to dress, whoever you like to hang out with, whatever your lifestyle may be. It's your choice. But there are things that the other sex likes specifically. There are things that we want to see. We men want to see in women, or women want to see in men. And you can never change it by just saying or making us like love the things that you want to us to love, or the things that men want women to like, because at the end of the day you want their attention and not the other way around. So if you want someone's attention, then you must be ready to do what brings them the attention. And if you're not, if you do not want that, well, then you have to wait for someone to actually spot you. But that is a whole another talk. So guys, this was zynovii7 giving you another Brad Cooper reaction with some very long comments in the end. I know, but they had to be done. While you're here, then you might consider liking the video, because if you watched till this very moment, I really believe you liked it. But if you watched it and you dislike it, well, the button is still here. You can even see the bubble. You can even see the bubble. Now, if you want to make a specific comment, then please comment below. But with that being said, I will see you in my other reaction.